Beautiful. Who wants to see my sexy nightie? We went into what store is it called? Boys? I'm not from round here, but that like if you're local, it might not even be a local store. I've never heard of it anyway. But I said to Thomas, I need some nighties, maximum comfort, freedom, this, that, and the other. So I was like, right, we're going to go get some nightie. And I thought, oh, they'll do it. That's like an old person store, I think, with random shit. So yeah, this is my nightie, sexy beast. The freedom's great though. I'm enjoying it. I can fully 10 out of 10 recommend getting an IT gang. 30 degrees on a poolside with 90% humidity. Yes, so I was watching this on the news and they were very much talking about the humidity is different this time round to what we had obviously a few weeks ago and what we had a few years ago where temperatures reached probably higher than they're likely to reach this time, but the humidity it's going to be significantly worse. So prepare yourselves. I will go into that a bit in a minute. Right. Let me share my slides. Where are they? Here we go. Right, I've got a bit of acid reflux as well, so bear with me on that. Just sit. It's like here to here. It's a joy, a joy. Right, we've actually got a few shout outs. I didn't write them on the slides. I've just written them on my oh, we need to mute somebody. I can hear somebody. Like Chris Packets, a couple of you actually. I'm just going to mute you guys. Sorry, let me just check across the board. Who's that? Somebody's iPhone. I'm going to mute that one as well. Right, I think we're good. Right. Erin, 55 kg deadlift. That's pretty fucking impressive, isn't it? Like, that is strong, strong girl power, and we're here for that kind of energy. Diane, 17.5 kilogram bicep curl. That is a fucking strong bicep. Do you know what I mean? Again, very much here for that sort of energy. And then we've even got a couple of reverse dieters. So congratulations, Victoria. Obviously, well deserved. Put it in the group chat, so a lot of you guys know about that. But we've also had Fran, who is a bit of a silent workhorse in the background. But yeah, massive, massive achievement to both of them. And then we've also got Heidi, who has entered into the 70s bracket. And incredible again. Real, like, again, someone that loads of you guys just work behind the scenes. You're just kind of doing the do. Don't really say a huge amount in the community. I'm sure some of you guys don't even attend the Zooms either. Not here for that as much. I like having everyone on the Zooms. Makes it more community based, a bit more to talk about, gets everybody involved in the thick of it. But again, I'm not going to force anyone even to watch it back. It is what it is. If you're going to watch it, you're going to watch it. If you're not, you're not. It is what it is. Right, so a few different topics. Father's Day, I kind of brought it up this morning. Now, some of you guys will have had plans yesterday. Some of you guys are the fathers in your relationships, in your, like, with your children. Again, a little bit like Mother's Day. Like, it deserves celebrating. It deserves those kind of moments where you actually do take a bit of time out. And a lot of the time, celebrations do involve food. Kind of is what it is. It's not the end of the world. But one of the things that Coach Cat noticed from the check-ins between obviously Thursday, Friday, and then Father's Day was this kind of, I'm just going to write the whole rest of the week off. I'm just going to write the whole of the weekend off. Well, we don't actually need to do that. Do you know what I mean? We celebrated Thomas. We actually didn't do it with food. Obviously, he's not technically a father quite yet. But do you know what I mean? I just got him a gift, a card, and we had breakfast in bed together, but it was the same breakfast we would normally have. But then he did go out to celebrate his father, so he then did go out for food. But it's that kind of thing. We didn't just write off the whole of the weekend. And I think this is where you have to be quite savvy on the, oh, I'll just start again on Monday. You like that's a very old energy, I think. That's not really a strong her energy. A strong her energy is choosing the moment and being okay with that, but not just writing off everything else around it and then just starting again on that Monday. I think we can do better than that. Hector Bear agrees. I don't know if you can hear him, but he agrees. Right, England football matches. I don't know too much about this, but I do know there is one at Tuesday at 9 p.m. And again, Coach Cat and I were a bit like, it's a Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Do you know what I mean? I don't know that there is that much justification for being like, I'm going to get blottoed on a Tuesday night. Like, this is the early stages of the tournament. they're obviously going to be playing quite a number of different games. Yes, it's exciting when they win, this, that, and the other, but I still think we can make some better decisions or try and plan it ahead, that kind of thing, and not necessarily just go, well, every single England game, I'm going to get drunk. Every single England game, I'm just going to eat what I want, or we're going to get a takeaway, or do you know what I mean? I think, like for us, if you're kind of still eating at 9 o'clock at night, this is where again that is going to show up on the weighing scales the next day, regardless of what stage of strong her you're actually in. We want to be making sure that our digestion has long kicked in. Obviously, shift work a little bit different, but do you know what I mean? Like that kind of consideration to be like, we don't probably want to be eating typically as late as 9 p.m. at night. So I don't think it should actually impact that much. We'll see as we go through, obviously, the competition. Heat wave, as we just mentioned, it's getting hot, it's getting humid, and what I was listening to earlier was basically the way that the sweat is leaving the skin, but then it's kind of holding in the air, and then it's kind of just going in a bit of a circle. So you're just going to keep sweating, and you're not going to feel like you can cool yourselves down as easily. And that is the job of sweat, to try and cool you down deliberately so that you can actually function. So be aware of that. Every single time the sweat's kind of leaving you, that's moisture essentially leaving your body. You must stay hydrated. We might see a bit of fluctuation on the weighing scales. We might see that kind of peak. You might be doing everything right, but we might just see a slight increase. It's going to depend on where you are in your journey, how much body fat you've got to lose, how much you sweat as an individual person. Some of you will, some of you won't, how heavily pregnant you are. All of these things are to be taken into consideration. But the one thing I don't love to see is anyone trying to use the heat as an excuse, but you actually know you fucked it up somewhere else. That's what I don't love. I'd rather you be honest and go, this has got nothing to do with the heat, why the weighing scales have gone up. It's actually because of X, Y, and Z, because then we can coach you on it. So I just want to make sure we're all being open and we're all being honest and don't just use it as a reason. There will be people that do still lose body fat, that do still drop on the scales despite the heat. So it can be done, but let's just stay mindful that it is going to impact. Again, if you're in a gym, you've probably got a higher chance of having aircon. Our gym does not have aircon. They are in the camp of gyms where they like to sweat when they work out. This feeling that you're actually training harder. But just be mindful of things like that. You might want to ease back a little bit if you're feeling a bit, do you know what I mean? Like you're not staying as hydrated or you're struggling to cool yourself off a bit, or increase your rest periods if you need to. If you're training from home and you don't have aircon at home, again, similar kind of category where just be very, very mindful of the temperature, of the heat. If you are training and you've got, I mean, like I say, it's somewhat flexible schedule, I'd probably say I think it's Wednesday and Thursday are going to be difficult days. They're going to be the hottest days of the entire week. So just be really careful of that. Muscle versus fat, right? I want to talk about this because it kind of came up in the group chat, and I understand why it came up. And sometimes I'm not sure if I confuse people. So I just want to make it crystal clear. I've said it a few times recently. Now, you can go through this program, change nothing about your nutrition, and just train really, really well following a muscle hypertrophy program, which every single one of you guys is on. The deliberate intention of creating a bit more muscle mass. So, your muscles already exist. You all have biceps, you all have triceps, you all have traps, you all have all of the different muscle groups. You all already have, but they will be a certain size. Our goal is to try and increase that a little bit. Do you know what I mean? We're not going to turn into the Incredible Hulk. Again, we don't have the testosterone. It's not going to happen. But we do want to develop our muscles as much as we can. That is the body recomposition piece. However, if you want to drop body fat, that is 100% the nutrition piece. Those two entities are entirely different. So if you're thinking, I want to drop body fat and I want to lose weight on the weighing scales, we have to be really careful saying weight, because weight is made up of lots of different things. This is why we try and encourage the smart scales. If anyone wants the Amazon link, they're less than 20 quid. Pretty sure it's Prime Day tomorrow as well, so there will be some good deals. I might have made that up, but I think it is. So Prime this week, I think it is, as of tomorrow. But this is it. So it's made up of water weight, it's made up of body fat, it's made up of muscle mass, like it's made up of different things. So when we say I want to lose weight, you actually don't want to lose muscle mass. We actually do want to lose the body fat piece. So we kind of want to keep those separate. But the training is the muscle mass piece, and that's the development side. The body fat is this side of it with the nutrition. So if you're thinking, I'm going to train away the body fat, you're not going to be able to do that. Like I say, you can get body recomposition because we are going to be developing those muscles. The leaner you are, the clearer that body composition will be. The more body fat that is over the top of your muscles, the more hidden your muscles are going to be. So you will have further to go to drop the body fat in order to reveal the muscles that are actually being built underneath. Now, that's just a consideration. So if you're not seeing the results that you want on the weighing scales, and we are repeatedly saying to you, and we're seeing that spike at the weekends, or you've kind of come in and you're not really doing much different, so you're socializing just as much, you might be drinking every single weekend, you might be seeing friends, you might be going out for dinners, all of these things, we can't really expect to get different results. There do have to be some sacrifices being made sometimes. And obviously, the more you're prepared to sacrifice and go, right, I'm going to 100% stick to my macros and I'm not going to go even an inch over, you're likely to accelerate the journey. Whereas if you go, actually, only one weekend in four, am I prepared to be in a full-time deficit the whole week? And I'm not going to have plans and I'm not going to do anything I can't track. I'm not going to have alcohol. That slows fat loss. I'm not going to do any of these things. You're only going to get a quarter of the speed. Half if you do it half of the month, do you know what I mean? Three quarters if you do it three quarters a month. So I just kind of want to make that clear that the speed in which you can achieve something in is how much you're prepared to lean into it. But I do feel as though there can't really be too much confusion at this point as to why the weighing scales are not dropping overall if you've been on this journey for a while. Do you know what I mean? So if you've been here for a few months and you feel like, well, do you know what I mean? I might have lost a few kilos at the beginning, but now I'm kind of stalling. It is 100% sitting in that nutrition piece. Now, some of you guys do have a tougher journey. Some of you guys, if you are working shifts, if you have like different things going on, or you might be in a season of life. Sometimes we coach women where every single member of their family's birthday is in a certain month of the year, and it's kind of like, right, we're just not going to see as much progress. Some of these things happen, but do you know what I mean? If we're talking 6 months and we kind of feel like we're not really moving it, right, that's where it's coming down to. And we will have told you that time and time again. But again, unfortunately, we can't do it for you. I'd love to be able to say I could take every single person's calorie deficit and I would do it, but I can't do that for you. Do you know what I mean? Neither can Coach Kat. We can tell you what to, like what we would do in your position, but we can't dictate for you to actually do it. So just be mindful of that. Right. I think that was all was that everything? Let me just make sure. Yep, that was all I wanted to say on the micro pieces. Oh, there we go. Put it on a whole nother slide. Don't remember doing that. Okay, so the maternity, I didn't come up with a better word. I should have chat GBT'd it, shouldn't I? Like what we were going to call this, because I feel like maternity leave is very much like typically more what you associate with someone that works in an employment situation. Doesn't really exist for business owners. It is one of those things. It is what it is. But Baby Huntley Rugg, anyone that doesn't know, that is my official surname. We don't go by it because it's not very marketing friendly. But Baby Huntley Rugg Henderson, HRH, His Royal Highness, Her Royal Highness, when we find out, we will know. It's coming, do you know what I mean? But Strong Her is not going anywhere. So I wanted to put a quick update so you know exactly what to expect over the coming weeks and how we're going to keep everything running as smoothly as possible. And I want to make it clear, Strong Her is my firstborn baby, as my dogs as well. Do you know what I mean? There are things in my life that are incredibly important to me, and Strong Her is absolutely one of them. Like I made it clear to so many of you guys, I was delivering parcels for a certain point. I was literally working for pennies literal pennies. And then Strong Her was being born alongside that because I needed something that was flexible. I needed something that would allow me the time to build my business alongside delivering parcels in that very beginning point. So to go from that to literally creating like a six-figure business, I can assure you, I will not be letting that go. I love what I do. I love coaching. I love you guys. It made me emotional putting this together because I thought, fuck, like, we have created something very special here. It is not going anywhere. This is something that means more than I can possibly even put into words. And to the concept of being like, well, I'm just going to let that go because I'm having a baby, absolutely not. So I want to be crystal clear on that. But the community, the program, all of you incredible women have been a huge part of my life for years. And whilst I'm obviously about to become a mum, Strong Her isn't going anywhere, and neither am I. This is simply a new chapter. That is literally, it might look a tiny bit different, but it's not even going to look that dramatically different. So what's staying the same? So the vast majority of what we do is going to continue as normal. So Monday motivation videos, they're going to stay. Weekly accountability, midweek stalky stores, program updates and progression, client support, Coach Cat keeping a fucking close eye on everyone. All of those things, they happen regardless. You might not see a lot of it, or you might not know which bits fit you, or this, that, and the other, but all of that is happening and it's going to carry on. My goal is for you guys to feel supported, guided, and looked after through this entire period. So, the Monday motivation. So, every Monday, I will still be recording and sending my weekly group video. Now, I might not look sprightly. I might not look fresh as a daisy. I might not be in the gym. I haven't been able to be the last couple of weeks because I've had to change my gym days around. Because, quite honestly, I've just not been able to get there on Saturdays at the minute. Check-ins are taking me a lot longer because I am hot, I am irritable, I need to move around a lot more. But you guys aren't really noticing those things. It's just what's happening in my side. But they're one of my favorite things to do, and I want to keep that consistency for everyone. I'll also continue sending motivational voice notes, checking in with the women who I think either need a nudge, bit of support, encouragement. You might have missed your check-in. All of this, by the way, is documented. You miss a move, it's documented, okay? So we know who needs following up with, why you need following up, what's going on, what conversations need to be had, all of those things. So if you heard from me today, that's why. I either want to motivate the fuck out of you, so I'm sending you that kind of voice note, or Coach Cat is. One of us is doing it across the board. Or we might think, no, this person's crushing it. Do you know what I mean? Like, they can crack on, like, they're doing fabulously. Or you might still be crushing it, and I still want to just message you anyway. Do you know what I mean? That's allowed. I can do what I want. But this is it. If we think, like, yeah, I'm still going to be popping up, that's still all going to be happening. Weekly Zooms. Now, this is a slight change. So, what I am planning to do is actually get ahead. So, I'm going to pre-record what I'm probably going to do is record more than I need to, and then we've got them there if I need them. But if I don't need to use them, I'm not going to use them. But when the baby arrives, there will be a handful of Zoom training videos that are pre-recorded in advance. So you're still going to get the education, you're still going to get the support, the guidance, and I will drop them in ahead of 7 p.m. on a Monday night. So again, if you want to watch them as though you're doing it live, you have the opportunity to do that. In the same way that if you want to watch it back in the week, that's your prerogative. You'll be able to do that too. A lot of you guys do that anyway, so it's one of those things. It's probably not going to impact too many of you. But if there are specific things, so a bit like when I say, if there's anything you want support with in this Zoom, pop it under that main chat. If you guys have got anything, or I think, oh, that's a good nugget, I really want to cover that now, I will just record a live video and I will just pop it in the group chat like I do on the Monday messages. Like, they're always live anyway. So you're not losing access to me. We're just going to adapt it for a short period while I navigate life with a newborn. But it's only going to be for a very, very short amount of time that happens for anyway. I'd rather do it that way than have Coach Cat take over. If I do feel like I want to pivot on that, we can. But I still really like doing the Zooms. Like, again, one of my favorite things to do is to sit here yammering on at you all. Right, midweek stalky sorts, carrying on as normal. both Coach Kat and I maintain, like I say, the detailed tracking system. So we know who's on track, we know who needs support, we know who's struggling, who's absolutely smashing it. The women that need the most support will always receive that attention first. It pivots, by the way. So week on week, it's not the same women, so it will shift around as it needs to based on what's happening. So if you don't hear from me, assume you're doing really fucking well. It's actually a good thing. Do you know what I mean? If you're doing really well and I think, yeah, this person is exactly where they need to be, you might hear from me less than somebody that I think needs a bit more attention. But again, like I say, it might pivot. And then the next week I might think, I think now you need more attention. So we're just always moving it around as we need to. But we are always watching. So check-ins, program writing Thursday, still going to remain the same. Do you know what I mean? This happens all behind the scenes. You guys have absolutely no idea what I do on a Thursday. It doesn't make any difference to your lives, but this is what I'm doing. Prepping ahead of the weekend to make sure that everybody's got the relevant programs. Again, very systemized, very structured, making sure that I know, right, what nuances we're putting in, what injuries we're putting in for, like how I want people to develop, what muscle hypertrophy people are getting at different points in their journey. So all of that's still going to happen. And one of the benefits of running my own business is that I can work flexibly around the baby if needed to. So if I need to work at 3 o'clock in the morning because the baby's awake and I'm feeding and I'm thinking, well, I'm awake now, then I'll be writing programs. Do you know what I mean? I'll be doing what I need to do in order to make sure that you're still getting exactly what you expect to receive. Clients who usually check in earlier in the week will, I've written priority. I don't mean it as in I'm not prioritizing your check-in. I mean, that is likely to happen on a Thursday. So once the baby's here, the Thursday checker-inners I will do on a Thursday, and then the remaining ones will get spread out over a Friday, a Saturday, and a Sunday. So anyone that I do the check-ins for, that is likely to be what happens. Anyone that Coach Kat does the check-ins for, it's not really going to impact you guys. Only really, which I'll go into in a minute, like when I go into basically having birth, depending on when that falls, yes, Coach Kat might have more check-ins. So again, you might find that she has to spread them out a little bit more as well. So that means your guys are going to get spread out. So there could be a little bit of a knock-on impact. But all check-ins are still going to get completed. That is a part of what you guys get. Do you know what I mean? That's what we're going to do. I simply ask for a little bit of patience and flexibility. But to be honest, a lot of you guys are probably used to me doing check-ins on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday anyway. So it just might well be that there is a Sunday. Now, the one thing I do appreciate is not messaging me to go, have you seen my check-in? That annoys the tits off me because we always said we will get them back to you by the new working week. So by the Monday, we expect everybody to have their check-ins back. That's always been the standard across Strong Her. I know some people think, oh my God, like that means working a Sunday. I am not shy to work in the weekend. So don't panic. The best way to check, you can actually see if you have submitted your check-in. I actually fully advocate for you doing this every single week anyway, because occasionally we do get people going, I thought it submitted and it hadn't, and it's just sat there in the abyss and we haven't got it and you haven't technically submitted it. But you can actually go to your check-ins tab and you can actually see the check-in has actually gone through. So I think that's good practice. Submit it, then just triple check that it has actually gone through. As long as it's showing as it's gone through, you will be getting that feedback. So the contingency plan. So over the next couple of weeks, some of the newer clients, the brand new ones, we've already done this for anyway. Excuse me. But some of the newer ladies, or if you're in the earlier phases, so typically phase 1 or 2, so that is the foundation and the sculpt phase, you're likely to get placed into a 3-way group chat with me, Coach Kat, and you, because I don't want any downtime in your coaching. Kat will be heavily briefed on every single one of you. She knows most of it anyway, but do you know what I mean? She will be given like all of the relevant points. And it won't be handed over unless it needs to be. If it needs to be, then it will be, just to make sure that we are across it on everything. But like I say, if I go into labour on a Wednesday and I'm literally giving birth on a Friday or a Saturday or whatever it might be, that's where you're going to have a bit of patience. So those clients in the three-way group chats will be getting checked in by Cat. So that's where I'm saying if you are um, normally checked in by Cat, you might just find that do you know what I mean? It takes a little bit longer. But Thomas will literally be able to assign them. So that will happen at the 11th hour. So I will set up your three-way group chat, but you'll notice it'll continue to be me anyway. It will only be if I'm in labour and I go, right, Thomas, here are the list of all of the clients. I need you to transition over to Coach Cat. That will only happen at that point and not beforehand. So I imagine I'll still be doing check-ins literally up until the point that I go into labour. That's how we roll. Do you know what I mean? I'm not like a potato. I can still fucking work. Do you know what I mean? We just have to do it slightly differently. But yeah, so this will ensure that everyone gets a full, thorough, and supportive check-in and nobody gets left behind. So that is kind of on to that prelude. Now, for those of you that have been with me for a long time, or you're in the higher stages, the elite fitness, further into your reverse diets, do you know what I mean? Where there may not be as many nuanced changes, you're going to know who you are. You're my right-hand women in this program anyway. I trust you. We've built the habits. You've developed great resilience. You've learned how to navigate real life. So if your check-in is slightly delayed or condensed in that week, I'm hoping you'll be a little bit graceful about that and go, yeah, you know what? Or you might even say, Ash is literally in labour. You know what? I'm cool. Do you know what I mean? But for you guys, it might well be that you don't hear from me until the new week. And that is literally just going to be, she's in the middle of labour. She'll come back to you as soon as she can. But I don't think you need like a full, thorough check-in from Coach Cat when she doesn't know as much about you anyway, and you're way further into your journey. I would rather just handle you guys anyway. But if you still feel like, actually, no, I really need some support, I really need something. Ash hasn't put me in a three-way group with Coach Cat. And actually, I do feel like I still need all of that. You all have access to Coach Cat. Every single one of you, she is in the chat. You can click on her number and you can message her. Do you know what I mean? That is absolutely available across the board. You can use the community. Guaranteed, if you've got a question, I have answered it at some point, and then the elite fitness women inside of the program will know most of the answers that I would give anyway. Do you know what I mean? Coach Kat can also get involved in any of the Q&As, any of that side as well. So please don't feel like you can't access Kat if you need to. She is absolutely there for you to do so. If you choose that, actually, no, I do really need some support or guidance with this, please just reach out to her. Don't feel like you can't at all. We're one team. Do you know what I mean? And Kat, like I said, we go through every single client on a Monday anyway, so she knows about most of you, even if you don't realize it. So pretty handy. But yeah, you'll still have me. I'm just gonna have slightly less sleep. But to be honest, the sleep's shit now anyway. So I can't say that well, we'll see, won't we, if it's much different. But I feel like sometimes I might pee like 20 times in a night. Last night, what did I have? I had acid reflux, but I've worked out and I fucking hate Gaviscon. I can't get on board with it. That's my last port of call. It tastes so much like a chemical. I'm like, that is not good for me. I can't get on with it. But I've worked out if I sleep on my left, I don't get the acid reflux. Like it goes away, but if I find I wake up on my right, I've fucked it. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be there for a while. It takes me ages to get back to sleep. Then I woke up on my left and my hands were dead. And I was like, cool. Now I've got dead hands that I can't feel, so I'm kind of walking around my bedroom doing this, like, come on, hands. So yeah, it's not much fun, but I can't imagine it'll be. At least there's a purpose when there's a baby here. Do you know what I mean? I feel like we've got a bit more. Like Thomas is a secret weapon. Now, again, if you've been in Strong Her a while, you will know this. You will know that the man plays an integral role inside of Strong Her. You just don't know it. He's not front facing. You don't see it. I don't know anything about technology, which is ironic to say the whole thing runs through technology. I didn't know anything about WhatsApp business. I don't set up any of the groups that go on. I don't send out any of the like the terms and conditions that you guys get when you start. I don't do any of the A lot of the planning that goes into the summits, a lot of that's Thomas. Any of the merchandise, that's all Thomas. Like he's massively involved in this. He does all of my bookkeeping. He does like there's a huge amount that man does, and he's a fucking superhero. Like genuinely, he's my best friend in all of this. I can't imagine being with a better baby daddy, but also we're very, very privileged in the fact that like his business is it's very hands off. Like it's a property investment business. We're not currently renovating anything at this point in time apart from our own home. Put ourselves at the bottom of that pile. But this is it. He gets a rent roll, do you know what I mean? And he enjoys quite a quiet life and he just keeps himself busy by doing everything else that like he does for the background. So he understands a business, he knows how to work it. The only thing he doesn't actually do is coach. That is the one thing. He never sees it, he won't see anyone's accounts. That's obviously completely like do you know what I mean? We would never ever do that. He's a man. I don't want him seeing anyone's bodies. I don't want him seeing anybody's check-ins, any of that. That's the side he's got absolutely no access to. But everything else, he basically can run from behind the scenes anyway. So between Coach Cat and Thomas, they are a formidable team. And like I say, it's not just me. So he won't be doing the typical 2 weeks paternity. He will be here to support for as long as all of us need him to be, basically. And like I say, he's always been heavily involved and it allows me to stay connected to Strong Her. He is in the group chat, so he can comment or say anything or let anyone know when labour's begun, all of that kind of thing. He can do all of that anyway. Teamwork makes the dream work. Right, I fully intend to breastfeed, and I'm completely upfront and honest about this. Now, there's probably going to be a tit out every now and again. There's probably going to be a nipple slip. There's going to be like oh, there is a baby attached to my boob in the middle of a training session, or while I'm doing things, or in the middle of a check-in, or whatever it might be. And I make no apologies for that. And if it offends anyone, you are free to leave anytime. I get it. It might not be for you, but I am a true firm believer in that is what my body is here for. Do you know what I mean? That's why I have boobs. That's my personal choice to feed my baby in that way. I'm aware it's going to be hard, it's going to be difficult. I am fully up for that challenge, but that is my intention. And again, this baby is a part of my life. Like, I am Ashley Dawn. What you see is what you get. And again, I'm not going to apologize for this being the next stage of my life. It might be for some women, it might not be for others, but just know that, like I say, this community has always been built on authenticity, honesty, real life, genuine, raw womanhood. I would like to hope the fact we talk about perimenopause, we talk about all of the like intricate things that women go through. And so many of you guys are mothers as well. Do you know what I mean? Like it's relatable, it's real, it is, yeah, it's going to include motherhood for me now too. So I just hope everybody does support that. But just know I won't be offended if you don't. Do you know what I mean? I get it. Some of you might be like, that's not for me. I've outstayed my welcome here. I don't want to see that. That's fine. I'll try and be as respectful as I can, but this is just who I am. And it will never probably be any different. So, strong hair has never been built around perfection. We have always said this. It is built around consistency, adaptability, resilience, showing up even when life gets messy or hard. And the next few months will be a beautiful example of exactly that. I am going to be practicing everything I fucking preach. That is the whole purpose. And I do thank you all for your patience, for your support, and being a part of this incredible community because, like I say, it means more to me than you will ever know. So, baby HRH may be arriving, but Strong Her isn't going anywhere, and neither am I. And now I am getting emotional. Whew, right, someone take over. Does anyone have any questions, anything that they would like clarifying, anything that you feel like I haven't covered off that you would love to know? I know who is cutting onions, Gem. Honestly, I don't do well with emotion. I said that to Thomas. I was like, I've never cried as much in my life as I have been pregnant. It doesn't come organically to me, and I'm like, oh my fucking God. I wrote that earlier, and I was like, ah. But it means a lot. to have everyone's support, to have an army of incredible women. I also know some of you guys want to go on to have children in the future. Do you know what I mean? I think it'll be amazing. I think what we've got is quite special. And I think we do have a lot of women leaving next month, truthfully. I think there are 8 of you that are parting ways, and that's fine. Do you know what I mean? Again, if you feel like the journey has come to an end, that is absolutely fine. Or you don't really want to be around for that section, that again, that's fine too. So yeah. If you want to message us about baby stuff, yeah, I will be doing that. You'll see it all over my Instagram. And I'll be going, oh my fucking God, what do I do about this? Or why is my nipple feeling like this? Or whatever. Do you know what I mean? There's going to be a lot of that going on. And again, I can appreciate not everybody's here for that. Like, that's not. Well, it wasn't even something that I knew would ever be in our future. I don't really have a maternal instinct. I never did. I didn't know if I wanted to do this. And we just were getting closer and closer to 40. And I said, look, should we just see? Should we see if it happens for us or not? And it did. So we were like, okay, it was obviously meant to be then. So yeah, it will be. This is it. And yeah, the baby will be part of the gang. And like we will, I really, really, truly hope we can do another Strong Her Summit in like probably Q4, like the beginning of like Q4. If we can do one, I'd love to do it. And it'd be amazing to see you guys and for the baby to be there. Do you know what I mean? And you'll all get the opportunity to meet the baby. And yeah, I think it'll be amazing. And I want to raise like this child so it knows it can be a powerhouse. Like that, the only limits you put on yourself are the ones you choose to put on yourself. You can do anything that you set your mind to. So running businesses whilst having a baby, whilst being around incredible women, do you know what I mean? That is a mindset of gold, and that's what we want to raise our baby in. Do you know what I mean? And being surrounded by you guys is going to be epic. It does move when I do check-ins and when I do this Zoom, it's like boom, 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 boom. And I think it's like, what the fuck is she saying? I might swear less. We'll see. That'll be an interesting one to see how, because Thomas is like, you can't swear around the baby. I'm like, well, it's already hearing. We might be a bit too late on that one. Yeah, so it's this. So I fucked it basically. I've royally fucked it. And I was looking today and I said to Kat, I was like, oh, this is not good. So on Saturday this week, we have some of our elite fitness women doing a fitness event in London, which is incredible. So it's a Ministry of Sound Fitness event. Coach Kat and I are going obviously down to support them. It's going to be absolutely epic. So it's like a doubles event, and we're going to be doing a lot more of these like isolated events with you guys as we go forward. And yes, so basically that is, so I need to be in London Saturday morning for that. Then I need to be back up north for the baby shower at 3 p.m. I learned today there are no fucking trains at lunchtime. So I was like, shit. I was intending to like catch a train at like 1:30, no, about 1 o'clock, get back. Then it's about an hour's drive from where I live, and this, that, and the other. I can basically make the last half an hour of this baby shower that I've paid for. I'm like, oh, good. So, and that's if everything goes smoothly. That's if the trains are on time, there are no issues, no traffic, no roadworks. So, yeah, Saturday, I've really stretched myself. So it's going to be like a 14-hour day. I don't know how it's going to go. I'm just like, oh, it is what it is. Just stay calm and YOLO. I don't know. And if I miss it, I miss it. Like it is, yeah, tough shit. I want to be there to support the women in London. Do you know what I mean? It's the first time we've done it. It's an amazing event. I can't wait to watch it and be there. So I'd rather be there than the baby shower, truthfully. But half of my family are obviously going to the baby shower. So it's like, kind of need to show up, but we'll see. So I'll let you all know how it goes. So Saturday's a big day, big adventure, lots to fucking see, lots to do. And yeah, we'll do it as we do it. But like I say, there will be lots more opportunities to do this kind of thing. Once we're kind of through reverse diet, that's kind of the way I have it in my head, then in that elite fitness bit, then we know you're eating good calories, you are going to be able to sustain that kind of fitness. And I think it cools down a little bit on Saturday. I think we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, I'll keep you in the loop. Right, does anyone have any questions, any queries, anything about the maternity side of things, anything about anything, any form checks I can do in maternity? Try not to flash you all. Yeah, anything while you've got me at all. My nose is running now from that little wee cry. Okay, well, I will love you and leave you there, but you are all amazing. I appreciate the support through all of this for just being here. Do you know what I mean? All of your guys' DMs as well. Like you're always like giving advice and tips and different things. Like honestly, I'm very much here for that. I love you all more than I could ever put into words. And yeah, can't wait to see through the rest of 2026 and see how far we can take it. So that's me. I will catch you all later in the week. Mwah. Have a good week, guys. See you later.